Let's do it. Let's
Here we
do
go.
it.
Am I recording?
Are you?
Yeah, boy. Welcome. What is up? Just like that.
What up, bro?
Just like that. All right, everybody. Welcome. This is the artist Dialect. My name is Danny Castro. Today I'm sitting with singer, songwriter, band leader, Bryan Durieux. What's up, man?
I think you give me too much credit, bro.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of credit tonight.
Oh, God. I don't deserve it.
Let's roll it. Yeah. It's weird how it's silent when we listen to it. Right? Pretty sick. All right.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminds me of like I remember when Animorphs was a thing.
Oh yeah, the book. Yes.
I remember when it was.
All right. I could totally see that. Now I gotta get like a graphic of me like morphing into like
A drum, maybe, or it's a Bugsy. Maybe it's a Bugsy. Is it Bugsy or Muggsy?
Mugs.
Muggsy.
I could get Crystal to do that. Actually, she's really good with the graphic art and shit. But yeah, bro. So basically, you know, as I said, we just watched a little clip of Sean's.
Yeah, that was great. I love Sean.
So yeah,
Sean's the man.
shout out to Sean and Synapsis. But basically, the way I'm kicking this off is kind of talking about your career trajectory. Like,
Okay.
I want to start from the beginning, and then kind
Yeah.
of move on. So we got to start from the humble beginnings.
Word.
When I was brainstorming and like taking down some notes for your interview, it was like really hard for me to remember actually like when I started fucking with you and when we actually started talking. But I do know that you were Hazeman.
Yes.
You went to Cardinal Hayes.
Yes.
And you know a lot of my boys. You know a lot of my childhood friends.
Yeah.
They know you as like, well, they knew you as like the sports guy,
Yeah.
like football. And then when I met you later on, you know, I would tell them like, yo, you know, this guy Bryan D, he's cool, like he's got a good voice, whatever. And they're like, yo, Bryan sings, like, what up? So
Yeah.
I need you to fill that void. I need you to
Okay.
put that puzzle together.
Yeah, because
for me,
that's
like,
always been like a gray area when it comes to me in a sense. I guess because in high school, all right, we'll start from like the beginning, and not like
Okay.
not like there's a few people that know the true beginning of what I do now. So growing up like from the age of like 12 to like 18, 19, I wrote poetry. That was like my thing.
Oh,
That was my thing.
okay.
Mostly because I used it as an outlet after my dad passed, and that's like where you and I connected in a way. Where when we first met, like that was my outlet because I was destructive as hell. I didn't care about a thing. I didn't want to listen to anybody. So the way for me to create
that.
the way to creatively get all that animosity out was just writing it on paper. And it was my 6th grade teacher who my mother hated with a passion. Hated him with a passion. But he was the one that actually introduced me into like writing poetry.
All right.
And then 8th grade, there was a talent show. And this was like right around the time where College Dropout was like
Yeah.
had first came out.
The best
And,
of Kanye's work.
Yes, I would concur. And this was around the time where remember Def Poetry Jam that was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
HBO.
sure.
So that was another point in my life where I was watching that a lot, and I sampled like his song Bittersweet, and I wrote lyrics to it while also singing the hook at this talent show, and then that's when like I sang it. That was like the first time I sang by myself in front of people. And
So
then-
like no guitar, it's just
No guitar.
You sampled this.
Yeah, and it wasn't no
you got-
beat, nothing. It was just straight acapella. Like I just sang the hook, and then I did my little verse, sang the hook again, did my little verse, and then just called it a day.
Yeah, wow, that's
And then
you're
like,
naked up there. That takes courage.
Yeah, so it was funny because like here I am with a group with like in a room with a whole bunch of people that they're doing like dance numbers, choreography. Here's Bryan with like his pants up to over his belly button, his curly ass hair, looking mad body with his pants mad high, with his little ass book, reading his poetry, singing his lines, and then that kind of like that's what got me. That was like my first taste of what being on stage was.
Okay.
And then like apparently after like I went up, the president of the school Father Michael, he went up to my mother. He was just like,
Father Michael.
yeah, he went up to my mother. He was just like, when did this happen? Like, why didn't we know about this? Because like my mother was always like, she always pushed me to do music, like to do things with my voice. She always did. I don't give her enough credit for that. Because there was this choir called High Bridge Voices that she wanted me to join.
Right. Yeah.
They toured all over the place, like, and she was just like, you should join this. I was just like, nah, I don't want to do this.
Yo, speaking of your voice, can you pull that mic a little closer to you? Actually,
Okay.
I want to hear that voice.
Okay, we're gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want my boobies to be all over the table.
No,
you know, people
good,
eat
man,
here.
you're good. won't be the first time. I got him too.
So, yeah, my mom always like wanted me to join High Bridge Voices, and I was just like, nah. But I did join I was part of the school band for like 2 or 3 years, and my first instrument was sax. In third grade. Third grade, that was my first instrument that I ever picked up.
Okay.
It was sax. I played that for a year, and I got tired of carrying that big ass case. and then I stopped playing sax, and then like for the next 2 years, I was part of the drum line.
Nice.
So if a lot of people were wondering where the hell I got my rhythm from, it was because I played snare for 2 years.
That's sick. See, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I played snare. I also played like I guess what you would consider like one of those rototom things for a little while as part of the band.
Yeah, it's like the
yeah. So that's what I did for 3 years, and then fourth grade was when my dad passed, and then like that summer, my mom bought me a guitar. I didn't touch that thing at all.
Right.
And I remember this. I remember the moment where like my sister kind of like almost ruined the surprise. We were on the plane coming back from Puerto Rico, and for some reason I don't know why I thought this, but like basically she was just like, "Yo, mom has a surprise for you when we get home." I was just like, "What do you mean a surprise?"
I could see your short little ass.
What do you mean it's a surprise?
What you talking about?
Yeah, and then she was just like, "Yeah, it starts with a G." I was like, "She got me the Godfather collection." She started dying laughing. She was like, "Why would she get you the Godfather collection?" I was just like, "I don't know. I saw it on TV. I said I wanted it, and that I haven't seen the movies, and I'm very interested that I want to see it." She was like, "No, she didn't get you the Godfather collection."
Lord.
Starts with a G, and that's all I'm telling you. So I had no idea. I got home, there was a guitar in the crib. I was just like, "Oh, this is dope. I'm gonna put this in my room in the corner, make it look nice, and not touch it." So going back, I know I'm like all over the place. So
no,
like,
that's good. That's good.
So going forward, after I did that talent show, I just dropped music and all that stuff completely to focus on like playing football.
Right.
Because like it was going into high school, that was like a very important thing for me, because growing up, I didn't get to have that experience of like playing really truly playing a sport that I loved, and football was a sport that I absolutely loved. Like I played baseball, it was cool, but it wasn't really my thing. I was pretty good at it, but I didn't connect to it as much as I did with football. And then like in grade school, we only had like a basketball team, and like I was forced to play basketball because that's what my friends played, and if I wanted to play with my friends, I had to play basketball.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
And then like I tried out for the basketball team, didn't make the team, so I just ended up managing the team, which means like you do the book at the game, you keep track of like all the free throws and people's points, and then you grab all the basketballs after the game and then keep it moving. But that's what I did with that. And I like managing the basketball team. I did some pretty cool stuff. Like I got to manage like the AAU basketball team that they formed at my school 8th grade year.
Nice. Which
is basically like, if you're familiar with sports, like AAU is basically like a team that travels to different tournaments in different states and stuff like that. So I got to go to Delaware with the team. We were staying at a hotel with a pool and all that kind of stuff, and like we went to a Phillies game.
Reckless.
Got to see some dude throw another dude down the stands. That was the first time I ever had Pat's in Philly.
Oh,
that was my first experience with Pat's Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, that's the staples.
Yeah, so like I think I got to do some pretty cool stuff, but it was still like an experience where I was just like, this is cool, but it's not me. So when I got to Hayes, like it was an opportunity for me to like really push myself and try to like do something that I absolutely love. So, or find love in something that I've always had interest in. So, I went to Hayes, and like I played football for all 4 years. I started 3 out of the 4. So I was part of the starting offensive line for 3 out of the 4 years that I was there.
Was Rob next to you at that time?
Rob was
Big Rob?
No, Rob was it's funny, man, cuz like Rob was on the team I went my junior year when I went to varsity. He was a senior, and he was like he was on the offensive line. So like I was competing for his spot all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He'll probably tell you different, but it was pretty.
I'm sure he would.
He'll probably be like, "Oh, I used to bust his ass all the time."
He's the king of bullshit.
Which was not
Shout
the case
out to
at
Robert
all.
Hull, man. He's the king.
Rob's the man, but yeah, it wasn't. If he ever makes it seem like he put me on my ass all the time, that is not the case at all.
I grew up with that guy. I already know.
Yeah, so it was always a close call with him, because like he was the one dude that like I was able to compete with for a position on the line, because like all the other dudes were ridiculously strong and huge, and they had been on the team since they were like sophomores.
Damn.
So he could tell you that like he'll tell you, like the dude that I was the backup for, Hector was ridiculously strong. Like it was ridiculous. Like nobody should ever be that strong. We did a drill one time, bro. This was the first time anybody has ever lifted me off my feet. Ever. Like I was in the air.
Holy
like
shit.
We did what they call Oklahomas, and they basically set up like 2 linemen on each side with a running back. So 2 linemen have to pass the offensive lineman to get the running backs to fill the gap and stuff like that. So I'm on the defensive end trying to go through Hector and Fernando. Fernando is another, like, he was one of the captains of the team, 6'2", 250 pounds.
High school kids, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like this. He's a senior in high school, and he's that big. Like, why is that even a thing? And like, I was going up against both of them, and Hector, like, as soon as the ball snapped, Hector had me in the air already. drove me back like 15 yards, and then threw me on the floor. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm not doing this again. So
was that kind of like?
Yeah, it was definitely like,
it humbled you a little bit.
Yeah. Football, like, if without football, I wouldn't be like the person I am today. Like, it humbled me ridiculously. Like I met a lot of like really dope dudes. A lot of those dudes are really doing like some really cool stuff now.
That's good. I'm sure I give you some work ethic too.
Yeah.
I know Hayes was no joke, man.
Nah,
everybody
bro.
I knew that went to that school was like, they would tell me horror stories about how serious they'd be.
Yeah.
About anything.
Yeah, and that was my downfall too. So like, I would focus on football, and then my schoolwork, because I was so bored in class and I was only thinking about football. I would never do schoolwork. One of my teachers, my senior year, was my junior and senior year. He was just like, I literally hate you.
No, your teacher said that to you?
My teacher said that to me. He was like, I hate you. I was just like, why? He was just like, because you're a great writer and you don't apply yourself.
Oh.
That's why. That's why he said he was like, you're literally a pain in the ass, because like you write so well and you word things very well,
using it.
and you're not using it. And the reason that you're not using it is because you're not applying yourself. And I remember the moment when he told me that. It was Mr. Rounds, and I know Rob knows Mr. Rounds too. He doesn't work at the school anymore, but he was one of my favorite teachers, because he always kept it real. He was just like he would just tell me, bro, you need to apply yourself. Like, you have what it takes. So like freshman, sophomore year, didn't do anything musically or poetry related. Junior year is when I started writing again more. And Mr. Rounds was like the teacher or the proctor for Cityscapes. Cityscapes was the literary magazine for Hayes.
Okay.
So through there, me and my boy Louis Gravely, who's another he's an amazing poet. He was actually he was on the football team our freshman year, and he was my tackle. Like, he was on the left side with me when we played freshman football, and him and I, we pretty much ran like the poetry club.
You guys on that similar wave, for sure.
Yeah. So it was that's where that started, like the creative spark again. And then I started listening to more music, in the sense of like that's when I got exposed to the Bronx Underground. It was my sophomore year. So sophomore year, that was the first time I ever went to a BXUG show, and it was because of the dude, one of my friends that was on the varsity team. His name was Tony, and he hung out with. Who did he hang out with? He hung out with Will, Louis Emilio.
Yeah, Louis Emilio.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So he hung out with him. He hung out with Bratman.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the 4 Train West Side.
Yeah. So basically,
entourage over there,
so basically, how that happened was like, was that like we all used to link up together on the weekends to play football. And then like they were talking about like, oh, we're gonna go to FLC this weekend. I'm just like,
what's that? Yeah.
What the hell is that? And then I went, and the first one I ever went to, bro, the pit was literally the size of the basement.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the wall like this, like just.
And you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
I'm sure Lewis and Bratman were bugging out.
Yeah. So
Bratman is a man of God. God bless him, but he does he's not shy in the pit.
He used to get busy, bro. Yeah. I remember one time I went to FLC, and he had gotten there before me, and all I heard was like a loud ass clap. Ooh! And then I see him getting dragged out of the pit, and I'm just like, yo, what happened? He's like, yo, he just got spin kicked in the face.
Yeah.
So so from the first show that I went to, I don't even know who was playing. I was just like soaking in, taking in like the whole ambiance, the whole like community that was there, like just the craziness of what FLC was, and like just seeing like other people like my age who like I could see it in their face. Like you could see it on somebody when like they don't really have a place to go to and express themselves and just truly be themselves.
Right.
And I could tell that a lot of the people who felt that way were in that room.
Yeah. A lot of kids are trying to find themselves.
Exactly. And that's why I gravitated towards FLC so much. And that's why I like from that first show I started going more often. And then that's when like I started meeting people in my own grade that I didn't even know, or like I met in passing, because like we didn't really have anything that connected us, because all I did was football. Right. So like they knew who I was. I remember their faces, and like we would say what's up, and like they knew that I was cool, like in the sense of like cool in the sense I wasn't a dick. Yeah. I wasn't like a really huge dick. A lot of people would tell you that I was a bully, but it was only because like these are people that I truly fuck with. Yeah. And like if I fuck with you, I'm gonna make fun of you. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, football players have the negative connotation.
Oh, yeah. Especially in Hayes, dude. Yeah. Fucking Hayes, man. It's an old boys school, and
I mean, it was a negative, but they just knew that just like we as football players, like we didn't really do much aside from football.
Gotcha.
Like because it took up a lot of our times. Like it was either like during the off season, it was either you're doing track or you're working out with the team. It can't be neither, because if it's neither, you don't get a spot on the starting lineup or on the team at all.
Right. I think that's why it was so shocking for guys like Rob and Angel Vargas to find out that you're a musician. Yeah. Like later on down the line. Yeah. So cool, man. So you touch base. You went to your first FOC because of Bradman and those cats. Yeah. And then like how much sooner after that were you actually picking up your guitar again?
Like literally probably like 3 to 6 months after that was like when I was starting to like mess around with it. Right. And like mess with like this like the tuning and trying to figure out like how the fuck this shit works. Yeah. Like, And,
Wonka tells me stories about how like he apparently remembers you like starting out.
Yeah.
And I can attest this too. I didn't see you that early in the game, but I definitely did see Jordan. We'll definitely touch on Jordan in a little bit. And you guys are the epitome of the come up, man. you guys really did start from the bottom, and now you're something else. So,
I could honestly say that like when Jordan and I first started playing together, like we were something completely different than what we're doing now.
Right.
But we'll touch base on that later. But like going back to like when I started playing, Sean will tell you this because I tell him this shit all the time. If it wasn't for the silver medal, bro,
Nice.
the silver medal, like that band is what did it for me.
Stefan and those dudes.
Yeah, man, like especially Brian Keith, man, like those like him, Drew especially. Drew inspired me crazy. Like those two groups alone is what inspired me to start playing. Nice. And I saw the first time I saw the silver medal was at the acoustic benefit of like 2009.
Yeah, I was probably in that room, man.
Yeah. It was 2009, and I think that was like the first and last show that I saw Mocha play at before he started playing again.
Oh no, I wasn't at that one.
No,
I was one that happened like I think a year or two later.
Yeah,
so I never saw Mocha at FLC.
No,
no.
So it was that year that I remember that lineup was crazy. It was them, silver medal, A Moment's Worth.
There's so many of those.
Currents. Five Coat was there doing an acoustic set. That was hilarious. Because it was just so weird seeing them doing acoustic set.
They were huge too.
Yeah.
Like, 5 cases of tragedy.
Yeah.
Those guys
who
had
else?
it going on.
Athena's Fury.
Yeah.
Athena's Fury did a set. I remember that. Who else? There was another. Dailies did a set.
You remember Brian Ridley? Did you ever meet Brian?
No, Brian Ridley. No, why does that sound familiar though?
He used to be definitely my boy. He's gonna hate me if he watches this, but shout out to Brian. I'm about to throw you under the bus right now. So he used to play bass in my band, and we went to one of those acoustic benefit shows.
Yeah.
And dude, Dailies is headlining. It's a fucking acoustic show, and you know the guitarist Joe is up there. He's singing his song, and they get to like one of their breakdown parts. It's just him on stage with an acoustic guitar. The crowd just explodes. People were like moshing to like acoustic chug riffs, and Ridley just gets decked. You know, I see Ridley like 10 minutes later. He has like a fat lip.
That's
like,
hilarious.
You got rocked at an acoustic show, bro.
That is mad funny.
He's like a UFC fighter now. Though,
that's crazy. That's just so. That's really dope, boy. I'm pretty sure that punch probably led to him going to the gym. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, dude. He's lived for that shit.
But yeah, so like that show is what like really got me started, got me thinking like, yo, I want to do that. That's what and you could, if you watch the video, you just see me in like the first 3 rows on like the left hand side. Just,
it's so awesome looking at those pictures and seeing like Benito, like all these people, man, like without beards and like little baby face.
Yo,
man.
my face was crazy baby, bro. Like it was bad. Yo, I looked like Lurch. It was really bad. With there with my gray beanie and like dark, like big ass, like square glasses, like looking all types of crazy, just staring at the stage, just really observing like what the fuck was going on. I was just like
word, just
like,
taking
yeah,
it in.
I really want to do this.
Word.
And then like from that moment is when I started playing more guitar. I tried to write a song and failed. I broke my first guitar because I didn't know how to tune it, and like
you snapped the neck or some shit.
I had a classical guitar when I first started. I had an Esteban.
Esteban.
Yeah, which is what you get off of like QVC for like $100 or some shit like that. My mom ordered it for me, and then it came with like videos and shit. So I had that. And then my dumb ass was just like, yo, I want to be like these guys I saw at FLC. I want steel strings on my acoustic guitar.
Oh.
So then I put steel strings on the classical, and then one morning, like after like 6 months later, I'm surprised it lasted that long because I was tuning these things mad hard. The neck just snapped.
Oh shit!
Just like left right on the body.
Oh man,
it was crazy. But luckily, like at that point, my mother ordered another guitar. She said it was hers. She was like, "I'm gonna learn now." I was just like, "All right, whatever. That's my guitar now. Thanks, appreciate it. You're not using it." So I was like trying to talk her into like just letting me use the guitar for like 2 months. It's like trying to like sweet talk my mom, like, "Mom, let me just get the guitar, please."
That's good. She made you work for it this time. Yeah.
She was, I was just like, "Mom, can I please
it's that
get
motherly
the guitar?"
love. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that mix of like going to FLC and like just like trying to learn guitar, I became really good friends with Dylan Asensio, which a lot of people know. I don't know if you know Dylan.
I don't know Dylan.
But Dylan went to Hayes. He was in my year. He was in my year, and like him and I didn't start getting close until like I started going to FLC, and that's like through Dylan is how I met Lonnie.
Okay.
And then like got tight with Lonnie.
Lonnie's the homie.
Yeah. So like, and then also going like knowing Dylan and Lonnie, I met 9 Days to Drop. I don't know if you remember like Arturo Vega.
I like knew of those guys.
Yeah,
I didn't know them personally.
Yeah, so Arturo, Jordan, Carlos.
Everybody
Chris.
had a reputation in the scene. Like,
so I met them. I think I met them. The first time I met Arturo was when Best Buy still had a music section.
oh yeah, I missed that.
On 161.
Yeah.
Dylan and I, like when I wasn't in season during the off season, like we would go there almost every day just to go chill with him or like Carlos.
Yo, check out
Jordan.
this riff, yeah.
Yeah, so
We
like
always used to do
we would
that
just
shit.
you just chill there and just hang out with them.
Nice.
And then I was telling Jordan and I got really cool with Jordan because Jordan
How'd you guys meet?
who
You and Jordan.
no I'm talking about Jordan from 9 Days to Drop.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So Jordan was the bass player originally. Yeah, there's a lot of Jordans in my life. I'm starting
I
to
see
realize
that. Yeah, you got the Jordan Square. We're gonna touch on that in a little bit too.
So Jordan from 9 Days, him and I got really tight, and then like like I was just talking to him about like how I'm learning how to play guitar, and he used to show me a few things, and then like the year this was like my junior year, then going into my senior year. At the end of my senior year, Dylan puts on a show. I guess you could call it a show, but I guess it was like an organized busking event
Okay.
in Columbus Circle where we played outside in the circle. And
That's hot.
That was technically my first official show
Nice.
as Bryan Durieux, the solo artist, I guess.
All right.
So I played some songs there, and after that, like I went into like hibernation for a little bit, getting ready to go into BCC.
That's cool, man.
And then like I was writing music over the summer, and I went to BCC only because like there was a school I was looking at in Vermont that like they wanted me to play football for them, but my grades weren't up to par. So I had to go to BCC for a
Is it like
semester.
Dartmouth or something?
It was Castleton. So Castleton is like one of the oldest colleges in the United States.
Oh shit.
One of the smallest too, and that's one of the reasons why I liked going there. And they had just put in a football program there, so they were starting from scratch. And like coming from a school like Hayes, where it's just like a lot of tradition, I wanted to go somewhere where I could start something new, and like I was interested in like doing like broadcasting and taking up communications and starting a radio show. That's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
And like I got that from like being part of the Bronx underground scene and like growing up musically in that area, and like just seeing that there wasn't really an outlet for artists to like be on like in situations like this, like get interviewed or have their music put out or stuff like that. And I wanted to do that. So that's what I wanted to go there for. My first semester at BCC, because I had to go down there to get my grades up in order to go, I met Adrian Reed.
Yeah, I know the kid.
So he was my first guitarist in a band that was known as Truth Be Told for a little while.
You and Kevin was with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's a
I'm-
hilarious picture online
I'm,
of that. Yeah.
I'm gonna get into that in a second. So, like we like that's where we like it was Truth Be Told. It was just me and Adrian. Then Adrian met this. I think it was I can't remember who he met first. It was Steven. Steven was our bassist, and he met him at a Mario Kart slash Smash Bros tournament at BCC.
Okay.
So he met Steven there, and then
Our
Steven,
generation is something else.
and then Steven was just like, yo, I know this drummer. He had a drum kit in his place. Like we could go rehearse there. That's how I practice sometimes. It's like, all right, cool. So we set aside a day to go over to the drummer's place. So I met Steven. I couldn't meet up with Adrian because Adrian was like running late for some reason. And then the drummer just happened to be with Steven. I see the drummer's face and I'm just like, yo, Kev? He's like, Brian, you're the singer? I was just like, yeah, bro. He's like, yo, this is fucking crazy. So the story with me and Kev is that Kev and I went to grade school together.
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
So Kev is like somebody that I've known for years.
Right.
When we graduated grade school, we didn't. I mean, we weren't really cool in grade school. Like we just like in passing, like, yo, what's up? I used to make fun of him once in a while because like he was chill, but like we weren't in like a really close knit of friends. One thing I do remember Kevin doing though, as a little crazy ass kid, in 8th grade, we were in the bathroom, and I forget, like we were it was a fire drill or some shit like that, or like it was a rainy day schedule. That's what it was. It was a rainy day schedule. We were going out on lunch. It was like we stopped in the bathroom. There was a few of us that had to use the bathroom. We stopped in the bathroom. He was in there already, and he had a lighter. So your man truly, with his lighter, lit the garbage bathroom can on fire.
Hell yeah.
We were just like, what?
Yo, I'm gonna have Kevin on the podcast too pretty soon because he's doing big things. Shout out to Kev.
Yeah,
he just
man.
dropped his portfolio.
Yeah, man.
And he just came back from South by, so I'm gonna talk to him. I'm definitely gonna mention that.
Yeah.
That's
so
what the hell was going through his head.
Yeah, so like it was just crazy just seeing Kev and like him playing drums because he wasn't a musician when I met him.
Right.
He had like remotely nothing to do with music. It was mostly like just him like brooding in a corner and just being like by himself all the time.
He's a very passive person, yeah.
Yeah, but like once you get to know him, he is hilarious and he is a clown and he is so awkward to the point where it's just like, bro, your life is a comedy. But you have to love him, bro, because he's always looking out for people. He's always like on it. If you need him, he's there. Like he's the homie, man. That's my bro.
He's also not afraid to go into a situation where he doesn't know anybody.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid to do that. Yeah. He's just there. But like it took a long time for him to do that. Right. I've like it's taken a lot of progress for him to get there because I remember where he just didn't want to go places because he didn't know anybody. And then like
it was flying out to South by Southwest.
Yeah,
and just shooting bands.
So like
for no fucking reason.
And like the way that kind of like broke out of that was like when we were in a band, Adrian was always the one that was like, yo, we got to go here. We're going out to a party because we like he had met a few people that used to just go to parties all the time. One of them being Roman. Roman went to he went to St. Raymond's and then he went to Lehman. Or like either vice versa, I can't remember. But he's a nasty guitarist. He was actually in a band with Sean Washington.
Oh, nice.
Called Versus Zeus. So that's how I met. That's how I met Sean.
Versus Zeus. That's hard body.
Yeah. So like they were like
calling me right now. I don't know if this is Mocha. Hold on, we're gonna interrupt this. Yo. What do you want? Yeah, you wouldn't be calling me when you know I have Brian D at my crib right now. You're on the podcast right now.
I'm on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Everybody. It's just me and him,
This
bro.
is me and him. Make it quick, son. You'll get your time.
Yeah, that's it. I was just calling to ask for your help with the gear. But I forgot that you were doing that, so I'll let you get back to it.
How's Drew doing?
He's done.
He's done? My man spit high fire in the booth?
My man spit it.
All right, cool. I'm going to let you go, man. I love you.
Love you, Mocha.
Be good. Let me put my phone away.
Word. On the floor.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
But damn, dude, I'm starting to realize that like this is a very long-winded story. I've met mad people.
Dude, this is something that my inception of this idea actually
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm going to have people over and we'll talk for like 10, 20 minutes. And then me and Sean sat down. I was just like, that was very naive for me to think that I can do that.
But
man.
yeah, bro. Like, so going back to Sean, like, it's crazy because like thinking about Sean was actually my first guitarist in the Bryan Durieux project,
Right.
and
Which I just found out recently, actually.
oh, you did, yeah. So
The night when Drew Torres played The Well and Sean Washington showed up and you guys were like, yo.
yeah, bro, because I hadn't seen him in like
Since those days, probably.
what's up?
Since those days, like the early Bryan Durieux project.
Yeah, man. It was like almost 4 years I hadn't seen him.
Right.
And I will honestly say on record, I was like, the way that I handled that situation was very immature of me. And
Air it out, baby. It's all good.
granted, like to where we're at now, the way Sean plays, it probably wouldn't have fit the project. But I let the way I let go of Sean was basically I let everybody else decide for me.
Mm.
That they were just like, oh, he's not really meshing well with the group, yada yada yada. Like he's just like it was a lot of situations where like Sean would bump heads with one of the guys in the band, and like sometimes that happens, but I could have nipped that in the butt earlier, and made it a little bit more equal across the board. It was just like, bro, he's in the band, you gotta respect him.
Right.
No matter what he does or what it is that however he lives his life is how he lives his life. And it took a long time for me to realize that you just got to let people live their lives, and like it is a blessing to have people who are as talented as Sean to be in your group or even consider playing with you. So,
It only takes time.
yeah, bro, it takes time. It takes time, and like I've never said this to Sean, but I am sorry, bro. Like the way that we did that. Like I'm sorry I let you go the way that I did. But with that being said, Sean is doing amazing things. He's a dad now.
Yeah, he's another one that'll be up here too. He lives in 5. He lives like
I know he lives close because I remember. I don't remember coming here, but he used to always be like, "Yo, coming up to the Heights," because that's where we used to rehearse. We used to rehearse at Jordan's old place. He's like, "Bro, coming up here is crazy."
Yeah.
But
So jumping right into that, actually,
Yeah.
I do want to get into your original lineup for the Bryan Durieux project.
okay,
So you've gone through many lineup changes throughout the year.
yeah.
But starting out, who was that
The
like
original
first
lineup.
Yeah.
It was myself, Marcus Durieux, my cousin on bass.
Marcus.
Yeah,
You're an animal. We all miss you.
I miss
Yeah.
him so much. Jordan Lee Rivera on drums, and Sean Washington on guitar, and then later on, like we had Simone
On keys,
on
right?
keys, yeah. So that was like but the four of us was like that was the original lineup, and like when Sean when we let go of Sean, Chris Cullen
Stepped in.
yeah, as
Okay.
he was supposed to be temporary, and then it just ended up like he ended up being on the record. So like it was
Right.
just like, do you want to be here? Do you not? He's just like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, fuck it, why not?
So and
he-
Simone isn't on that first record though, right?
No.
There's
We,
no
we,
keys
like,
on
we,
that.
we did like we on the earlier like demos of like
There's some keys.
yeah on the earlier demos of the Disappearing Act. There's keys on there. I think that was the only demo that we like officially like not officially, excuse me, but we released with keys on it. But yeah. So Simone decided that she just didn't want to be part of the band anymore because it just wasn't for her,
Right.
and that's cool. People
She's
make.
she's doing big things.
She's
with
doing
OJ
big
and the
things
Yams
right now with
yeah.
OJ and the Yams, yeah,
Those guys are nasty.
yeah, and she's another one that kind of like exposed me to a lot of things that kind of shaped who I am today.
I'm sure.
Like she exposed me to the lesson, and that's like a
Huge,
major thing that kind of like inspired me to write the way that I do now. And,
Hell yeah.
And just
The
like,
lesson changed my shit for sure too.
yeah, man, being
And,
there.
those
like,
house parties that they throw too, they're
Oh yeah, well that's completely separate. Like that's just Sim's thing. That's
Right.
Simone's like, that's her, that house party though. That's her brand that she does with another friend of hers. But it's mostly the people that go to the lesson that she's met.
yeah, it's a lot of that same entourage. Yeah.
It's most of them, and then like there's people from there. There's people from the poet that'll be televised. That she I don't know if she's still part of the house band for that, but she was the keys player for that for a long time. And it was originally Jordan Lee was actually the house drummer for the poet will be televised when it first started in Ridgewood.
Shit.
Yeah. So it was just hard for him to get out to Ridgewood and then come back home to the Heights to be at work at like 5 o'clock in the morning the following day. So that was probably one of the reasons why he decided not to keep doing it. But yeah, she exposed me to a lot of like stuff when it came to like fusion and hip hop and like the Dilla-esque grooves and stuff like that.
Ooh.
You know, like
I'm glad you touched on that because
Yeah.
oh my god, those kind of broken like
exactly
hypnotic beats, man.
Yeah, like just
Yeah,
something that's like the kick is on, but the snare hits are like kind of dragged,
And the
feel.
hi-hat is very like kind of
Yeah, it's a pulse.
skipping.
Like
Yeah, it's great.
it's super dope, and that's what she kind of like just being around her and meeting the people who actually play that well. That was really like influential on me when it came to like writing, and then that was also the place where I actually learned how to mix, like do front of house mixing.
Oh shit.
So that's like where I really cut my teeth and learned how to blend and do like delay throws and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's when you're mixing it, you're in the music with the band.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah. And a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't understand.
You're almost another member.
You
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
You are, and a lot of people don't get that. Like, just because you have, and that's a common misconception from management from venues in the city. It's not just somebody who can just like turn up faders and turn things on and just place mics somewhere. It's somebody who actually understands music, like somebody who can like relate to the music that they're mixing, or actually like find something that they can relate to the band, even if they're not into the music. Like they find something.
You have to identify their niche and kind of roll with it. Yeah,
exactly. So you gotta identify with the group that's on stage in some kind of way, and then make them sound great. And I got that. I learned that being like mixing the lesson.
Nice.
That's where I learned all that.
So is all this stuff going on kind of simultaneously with living with other things?
So no, like mixing I didn't start doing until after Living with Other Things came out. So Living with Other Things, the concept of that album was just like,
It was your first full length.
Yeah, it was the first full length album. And like, it was the concept of it was just like things that people go through on a normal on like the daily basis, and just like things that like you kind of hold in internally that you're too afraid to let out. And that's why like the cover looks the way it does. It's like scribbles in the back of a notebook. Because like when I was in school,
Paper looks all crumpled up.
Exactly. And I want to shout out my man Andrew for doing that. Andrew is he's another dude, like football player. He went to Mount.
He's the guy that did the art.
He's the one who did the art.
It's great.
So
yeah.
he's super dope. So like the concept of that was just like for me being in school and being somebody who always kept things so internal, and like not having a way to bring it out, I would write poems in the back of my book, in the back of my notebook in school, and then just transfer them to my poetry book later on.
Right.
So that was the kind of the concept of like Living with Other Things, and like the cover and just like writing the music. It was just things that I've been through, or that I've witnessed people go through, and just putting it out in music where people can actually relate to it. So that we were playing those songs. We were playing the majority of those songs for like 2 years before we actually got into the studio.
And Mocha tells me that that you guys basically shat that record out, in terms like you guys recorded live. Am I correct? Or?
A majority, like, so the instrumentation is like bass, guitar, drums, all done live, with like us performing live in the studio. And then I went back
You guys were really comfortable with the songs. You had
It was
performing them. Yeah.
exactly. We have been performing them for so long. It was just like, you know what? I personally just wanted to get done. Like
Yeah.
it had to be done because it was getting to the point where it was just like, okay, you've been playing so many shows for the past 2-3 years with these songs, and you have nothing to give the people.
Right.
So
It's a great document of music, actually. It's the quality is great. And Drunico mixed it, right?
Andronico mixed and mastered it, yeah. And he did that super quick. He did that like within a week.
Nice. Yeah, it knocks, man. When you put it in the car, it definitely knocks.
But yeah, that's we finished it in 20 hours.
Jesus Christ.
So we did 2 10-hour sessions. So
Yeah.
we did 10 hours of just like tracking every song with drum, bass, and guitar. Then I went back for another 10-hour session to retrack vocals for every single song and acoustic.
Nice.
And that was it.
It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys have been coasting off that for a while now, right?
Yeah.
When did that record come out already? It's like 2 or 3 years.
2015, yeah,
Wow.
February 10th, 2015.
Nice.
Yeah, and that record is what got us into Rockwood, which is like basically which has been our staple for the past like
Right.
3-4 shows that we've done. But that record is so different than what we're playing now. Like, and that's
Naturally,
like,
it should be.
yeah, and like I feel like the Bryan Durieux project is so different than what Durieux is. Yeah, so like
I want to jump into that actually before you get ahead of me now.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you basically what the thought process behind changing the name from Bryan Durieux Project to Durieux is, and then the lineup changes in between all that. Like, what's going on in between Living with Other Things and now?
So
because you guys have a new lineup and you're gelling.
So with the like post Living with Other Things, we were doing some pretty cool stuff. Like we did a lot of like really cool shows.
Getting around, playing a ton of shows.
Yeah,
man.
and then and during that time too, like before Living with Other Things came out, I was on a college tour. I was on the Dean's List tour, and that's where I met Zai.
Yeah, Dean's.
So Dean's List tour is like, I remember when we auditioned for that. That was hilarious. So this
I'm Zai and I'm on Moore Valley.
so it's funny. So like the story with the Dean's List tour, before we get into like the lineup change. So we there was this cat that like I think I had met him. We did a show for this production company that's run by, or that used to be run by, I don't know if it's called Herd Entertainment. Excuse me, and it was run by the drummer of Shinobi Ninja.
Sick band name.
Yeah.
Have you ever known them? Yeah.
Their stickers are literally everywhere in the Lower East, everywhere.
Sounds very familiar. Yeah.
If you in New
you
York,
go take a piss and like
exactly.
and you see it.
Yeah. If you are a musician in New York, or if you go to a show, you have seen their stickers at least at every venue you've been to in New York.
Nice.
Because their marketing is like their sticker marketing is just ridiculous. Like they just put stickers everywhere. I remember I saw one in the Bronx in my hood. And I'm just like, how did they get up here? They don't do shows up here ever, but they were there.
It's
so
that
like
street team, man.
So I did a show. I forget how I believe his name is Mike. I forget how Mike got a hold of me, but basically I was following Randy Class, he's another like singer songwriter from the Bronx, super dope, super talented, and he had played that show as well, and we did a show at Left Field, which is no longer open. It was down by Delancey. So we did a show there, and I met Randy there. We got really cool, exchange info, and then like Randy's management at the time, like they were hitting me up to do shows with them, and then I found out that Randy was on a college tour called the Dean's List tour, and then another artist that Fernando and I from the Fox and King worked with, Kenny Dubb, was also on this tour. So I was just like, you know what, I want to see what the process is to audition. So submitted some of our stuff. We got I got the date for this audition. We went to the audition. We had to bring all of our gear because it was in a dance studio. To then come to find out that they were moving us to Funkadelic Studios.
Oh wow.
Where they had all their gear.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, so we carried all of our gear.
You showed up to Funkadelics with all your gear.
We had we had to.
So this you when you were doing this tour though, you were solo or you had the band with you?
When I did, so this is where I'm gonna when I finish telling the story, this is like give you that answer. So
Okay.
so we walk like 4 blocks with all of our shit to Funkadelic. We do the audition, dumb tired, exhausted, and we're like, we don't even want to fucking do this anymore. we played 2 songs, and like the first thing that came out of the judge's mouth was just like, "Do you guys do hip hop?" And we were just like, "No." You guys want to hear another song?
Awkward.
I was like, "Yeah, do another song." So we played another song, and they're just like, "Okay, thank you. We'll let you know like what happens next." We all get to the car, and we're just like, "Yo, fuck this shit! Like, this is crazy! Like, it's just a hip hop tour. Like, why the hell did we do this? Yada yada yada." Pissed as hell. I mean, I wasn't as pissed as everybody else because I didn't have a lot to carry. Jordan was tight.
Of course.
Jordan was pissed because he had to bring his whole kit. It was a hot mess.
Oh fuck. That.
Yeah. So.
And then you show up to Funkadelic that has like 9 rooms decked out with gear. Yeah.
Then like 2-3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, I get an email saying like, "Hey, you made it to the second round." What?
Word up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so I hit up Marcus because I was just like, Chris and Jordan are not going to be down for this at all. They already voiced that, so we're not even going to do it. So I hit up Marcus. I was just like, "Marcus, you want to do this? You want to do this audition with me?" He was just like, "Oh, you know how Marcus was." He was like, "All right, fuck it, I'll go." So Marcus came with me, and then I found out that a dude that I met at Bronx Community College that I was really good friends with. His name is DJ Jin. I think you've met Jin one time. He DJ'd Jam Slam one time that you guys were there.
Okay.
I think. So Jin was just like, "Yo, you audition, bro? I got you. I'm putting in the word right now. I'm telling them if they don't pick you, I'm not doing the tour this year." I was like, "All right, bro." I was like, "Yo, if that's what you want to do, then cool. Like, I'm not asking you to do that, but I appreciate you."
It helps to be around.
Yeah.
It helps to be around the block.
Yeah. Because he saw me and Adrian play all the time at BCC, and like
he saw the come up, man. Like we all did. Yeah.
But like he didn't see the Bryan Durieux project. He only saw like Truth Be Told, One for Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Right. So he didn't know the music that I was playing now.
He just saw you were still in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't even know I was playing guitar. He's like, "You play guitar?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. Me and Adrian don't really play together anymore. Like that band broke up, so I've been doing my own solo thing." Like, "All right, cool." So we played Dying to Know, like the original version of Dying to Know. It was just me and Marcus, and everybody was just like, "Yo, that was dope." And then that's that we got an email another week after that we got on the tour, and that was that. I was on the Dean's List tour, and then like while I was on the Dean's List tour, we were still doing stuff like in different venues. Like we played Arlene's, we played at Left Field, we played the Delancey, we played at a few other places, and then
Children
in the Bronx. This is the Bronx, guys. So then from there, I just decided like, yo, it's time for us to go into the studio. So we went to the studio, recorded the record. I released the record while the Dean's List tour was still going on, to push it at other dates and stuff like that.
Definitely.
And then we did an album release show at Rockwood Stage 1. That was the same night that it was the first DT3 show, right, at Arlene's.
Oh, that was the same night?
Same night.
Wow.
Same night, yeah.
That was like the weekend after the Bronx Underground got not shut down, but when they called it quits, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's nuts.
That was the same night.
So you're doing the Dean's tour simultaneously. I feel like you guys, or your sound definitely bridges that gap too between like the hip hop world and
like
soul music it goes with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're received really well in those scenes because a lot of times
It's surprisingly, bro. I like it's crazy. Like sometimes I go into a venue and like I've been on lineups where it's only hip hop. Like on Dean's List tour, there was one year where I was like I was like one of maybe like two or three, maybe two like singer songwriters that wasn't doing like the contemporary like R&B trap stuff.
It's because it's a breath of fresh air, man. Like when you're sitting through a bill of like fucking 10 just boom bap like 16 bars of some dude yelling in your face, like it is a breath of fresh air. And not to take anything away from hip hop because I love that shit. But,
yeah.
You know, it's just the contrast is much needed.
It's not even the boom bap anymore. It's mostly trap, and it's like when you get a break from like 14 trap dudes, you know, like. I totally get it because like if I'm at a show like when we do Zayai shows, it's just like, all right, we gotta sit through a few trap dudes. It's cool. All right, cool. Some of them are dope. I appreciate them. Some of them I'm just like, oh, bro, you might want to take that back to the studio a little bit. Maybe mix it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly
some of them are questionable. I'm not gonna like and again like this. There could be somebody out there saying the same thing about me, saying the same thing about Baychester, saying the same thing about Drew.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? There's not 10 million of us on the same bill.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing I can say.
It's a different culture too, man. Like those guys can fit like 10, 20 people on a bill because they just, you know, they cycle their tracks. You know, guys will get up, they'll do 2 songs, and it's on to the next dude. Like,
yeah.
I was kind of shocked when we played that, when we tried to play that Arlene show that got shot down.
Oh man, that was comedy.
And we sat through like 20 just sets. Like I said, a lot of them were fire, but a lot of them were really cringeworthy. And you know, didn't get to play because somebody threw a smoke bomb.
Yeah, like it'll definitely look like somebody attacked the hidden leaf in there, bro. That's what it looked like. It dead ass looked like Naruto came in and did like a brawlic ass shadow clone jutsu.
That bullshit that never works. I'm glad I catch those references now. I'm watching those with my girlfriend. But yeah, man. So cool. You guys were gigging this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a dude that, like, you know, if it isn't a full band gig, if your boys aren't down, if they can't take the gig, you will play an acoustic show.
Of course.
Like, I've bumped into you in more occasions than I can even count. Like, not even knowing that you were gonna be at some party or a bill that I'm going to, and you're there with your guitar on your back. So you're gigging, like, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to. But that was going back to the name change. Like that was part of the reason why I changed my name to Durieux. So, like the Bryan Durieux project, like it was during a time where I wanted, like I yearned for being part of a band. Like I wanted to like bring everybody together and be part of a project. And like we sat down at a table. We sat down at Jordan's crib and we were just like, yo, what are we gonna call ourselves? And he was just like, yo, this Bryan Durieux project.
You met nonchalant.
Just it's your music. I was just like, okay.
That's kind of how me and Mocha did Drew.
I was just
like, yes, what are you going to call this? We were like, Did Your Choice Trio. What else would you call it? Right? Like, I don't know.
But then again, like that, like for me,
it's a little awkward.
It was a little awkward in the sense of like when it came to booking, when it came to like doing shows, doing interviews, and like especially being on a tour, like, and
it's hard to market a single act
it's
when
hard.
You're being called the project.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine, right?
Like the marketing for it was hard. So that's when like we started taking things a little bit more seriously after living with other things, and that's when we started gearing towards like Durieux, and like Chris was kind of on the fence about it. He wanted something where he could like he wanted a project where all 4 of us were doing our own thing in the same show. Like all of us got a chance to like kind of like the Beatles in a sense, and like it's a cool idea, if you're not trying to progress and grow.
Me and Sean talked about this actually. The kind of battle between like a band democracy and having maybe like a band leader,
Yeah.
and then where everybody else assumes their roles. You know.
Yeah.
There's, you know,
and that's
no one or the other is more righteous, but you know,
But in
the
certain
democracy is definitely difficult.
in certain situations the democracy is not going to work, and I hate when I have to do that,
Right.
because like I want everybody to be happy, and I'm not the type of person where I want to like see people go.
Well, look what happened to the Beatles, man.
Yeah.
John Lennon and Paul McCartney could not get their shit together.
Exactly.
By the White Album, they hated each other.
Yeah, but that's because they both want to do their own thing,
Right.
and that's essentially what the Bryan Durieux project became, because Chris had Kilcullen, his band, which comprised of like him, Jordan Lee, and Marcus, and then it was the Bryan Durieux project, which was basically Kilcullen with me.
Right.
Two completely different sounds.
Yeah, which is really cool to see, actually.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine that kind of is hard when you're trying to draw people and you're trying to promote gigs,
and
and you guys are drawing the same exact crowd. You know,
Yeah.
it's 2 slots on a bill that could potentially be,
But it's also about like being consecutive in the sense of like the vibe of the show. You know, like
yeah, you guys did sound pretty different.
Yeah, and
also,
it was very different. Like it's okay to like sound different, but also still have like the same vibe, same energy, like be comprised of like overall like the same like at the end of the day, it's the vibe of the show. Like if your vibe fits the show, then all right, cool, then we're gonna have you on the bill. But having Kilcullen and the Bryan Durieux project on the same bill, it didn't really mesh well. And I know Chris wanted to do his own thing, like that's what he wanted to do, because it was Chris, Jordan, and Marcus were in a band called the Dropout Record with the lead singer named Gio. When they broke up, it was around the same time we let go of Sean and we needed a guitarist, and Chris wanted to keep playing with Marcus and Jordan.
I see.
So he kind of just like filled that role.
So Kilcullen was birthed, and the new lineup for Bryan Durieux project.
Well, it was the new lineup for the Bryan Durieux project, and then like they were talking about it, and they just decided like, hey, maybe we should like bring back the Dropout Record, and then they were just like, no, let's do something a little bit different where like we're all 3 of us are doing something, because they like in the Dropout Record they were all doing backup vocals behind Gio,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Where in Durieux it's like if anybody's
your
doing
backing band kind of, which is really cool to see. Actually, it showcased the versatility of Marcus and Jordan.
yeah.
You know, they go from like surf rock, kind of classic rock, Beatles type stuff,
Mhm.
and they're playing this real funky soul music, which
is really cool to see. But again, like the vibe of like having that on the same bill is not really concise.
right.
So like Chris wanted to do his own thing, and then like when we went into the rebranding of the band, or like the artist that like Durieux is me, like as an artist. That's what I go by as. That's my artist name, and I have a backing band, which is what this new rotation is. But as that came into play, like Chris wasn't really with that movement to an extent, and I started like really diving deep and just like really thinking about like what it was that I wanted as a sound. And as I started like dissecting like what it was I was looking for, I started realizing that his type of playing wasn't something that I wanted in the band. So in the transition of like going from Bryan Durieux project to Durieux, before I made a decision to like just part ways with Chris, or just not keep doing gigs without Chris, Marcus decided to move back to Japan.
Right.
So, and that was something that he needed to do for his family. I miss him to death, and I wish he was here. But he has to do what he needs to do for his family.
God bless, man.
He now has 2 kids.
That's wild.
He's a dad.
Yeah.
Like he's a full-time dad, and he's living his life out there. He's getting everything that he was looking for here, out there. I mean, granted, like I talk to him once in a while. I don't talk to him as much as I should, And it's because like the time difference, and then just like trying to find time to actually get him like on a computer to video chat him and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for
But
sure.
like the one thing that he says like he's missing a majority of the time is just like that music aspect that he had here, and he's trying to find a way to blend them both. And like I've been trying my best to like try to figure out a way to get out there, but it hasn't worked out this like yet. Gonna figure out a way. But when he left, that's when like I just started doing gigs solo. Like I
Right.
just started doing more gigs solo, and I was just like, when the time is right, the time is right. Figure it out.
I remember I would talk to you a lot during that period. And
Yeah.
you would just be like, fuck, like, just kind of searching and waiting for who's gonna come or what's gonna happen.
and
I
that's
would
the other
always tell
thing,
you
too,
like,
like-
just be patient, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and that was the other
Yeah.
thing too. Like I didn't want to like go out there and just like search for people. I tried it. I did try. Like I was actually there was a drummer that I was working with. His name was also Danny.
I remember that dude. He played the Ale House with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Very
playing.
cool
I was
guy.
playing with him for a little bit, and I met him doing another gig at a place called Meridian 23, which is no longer, that doesn't exist anymore, which is sad because that place was dope. I did a day party there for another dude that got a hold of my stuff somehow. I can't remember how. I think it was through the Deansless tour, and he just jumped on, like when I did a cover of Hotline Bling. He just played drums with me. I was just like, bro, you want to play? He's like, yeah, fuck it. So he jumped on the kit. We vibed really well. I kept his number, and I had like a little residency at this hookah spot called Faluca, which is like right up the block from Bitter End.
Oh, okay.
And like he would
The
play
wild
with me.
village down there.
Yeah, he would play with me. He would play with me there once in a while, and then like the Ale House. The Ale House was probably like the last gig that we did together, and mostly because like I miss Jordan.
Yeah, I was right about to ask, like, where was Jordan at that
Jordan
time?
was just like he was just going through a lot at that point. Like
Right.
he didn't really have the time to like to dedicate to the band, and like he was going through a lot. Like he had lost his mom. He trying to balance like his work life with just like getting everything situated at his place, and
It's so difficult.
it
man,
was
yeah.
it was just hard for him. And I'm not gonna put pressure on anybody to do something that they're not able to do or that they just don't want to do at the moment.
For sure.
And also like he wanted to play with a band. He wanted to play with a bassist, and I like we both weren't in a place where we just like actively wanted to look for a bassist. I wasn't looking.
Right.
I wasn't looking to fill that void yet. So I just played as much as I could.
It did not stop you at all.
No,
Yeah,
and that was.
That's one thing that I definitely respect.
It's because like when my first band broke up, like when One for Tomorrow broke up, and like I stopped playing shows with Adrian, like I was depressed, bro. Like I was literally depressed for like 2 months. I wasn't doing anything musically.
I can imagine.
I like had all this angst, and just like I had all this aggression that came out of nowhere. It was because I didn't have, again, that creative outlet to express myself. So then that's like I told myself from there, like, I'm not gonna stop playing ever. Like nothing's gonna stop me.
Right.
You keep playing no matter what. Like even like the only way that I will not play is if I literally just can't get out my house.
Right.
So like if I can't get out my house, if I can't like, if I physically am able to like hold it together during a set, then I won't play a set. Then that's just how it is. But not like going forward, I realized that kind of bit me in the ass a little bit, because playing everywhere and just like playing any show that you possibly can now takes away from like the sense of urgency to get people to come out to shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
that was one thing that like I had to learn the balance of. It was just like, okay, I know you want to play, but playing all these gigs, playing at these shows that like, if you write it down on paper, they're not really helping you progress. They're kind of like maintaining your stagnant state.
Yeah. Right on.
like if you keep doing these shows, you're gonna stay in the same place. If you like be patient and find a gig or find a way to do shows where you feel like you're progressing, you're in front of new people all the time, then play as many shows as you want, or like play whenever you can. And that's where I had to like really determine like
You need
what
to
was
learn how to
better
say
for me.
no.
Exactly.
Eventually, yeah.
Exactly. Just learn how to say no and just learn how to like analyze a show and just be like, okay, how is this smart for me? You know? And it's like it comes down to like, okay, when was the last time you played? Where's the venue? Have you played here before? Who's on the bill? Stuff like that. Is this venue like reputable? Like, do they have like a constant flow of new people coming in? Like those kind of things, like I had to put into perspective when I started like really taking this seriously, where I wanted to like take it to the next level. And like that kind of mindset change, like I changed my mindset to that when I rebranded everything as Durieux. Like I was just like, okay, I have to do something different that I didn't do before with the Bryan Durieux project. Because like as much as I'm proud of putting out that album, I did it the wrong way. I did it.
Oh, I feel you
Yeah,
very much.
you know,
on that.
like just putting out an album.
I know what it feels like.
Just putting out an album and not practicing what I preach, because like another dude that I kind of grew up in the scene with musically, in the sense of like booking shows and doing shows together, like with the Bryan Durieux project, was my boy Mike Tedesco, which I don't think you've met him before. Phenomenal singer-songwriter, phenomenal like keyboard player, piano player.
Nice.
Ridiculous. And like I would tell him, because like he's another one that would just like put stuff out but not make it important. Everything that you do as an artist is important, and you have to make it seem that way, because if you don't make it seem that way, then people are just going to be like, oh, I'll just catch him next time.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
It's not a bite.
I'll catch him next month, I'll catch him next week. He's having another show in a few days. And then and like doing shows every week works for some people, because like they change up every week. But as somebody who doesn't really have a lot of material, or who has a lot of material but they want to have that be part of their show, and then add different things here and there to every show, you have to, like, especially with the lives that we live, like you have 2 people in your band that have kids, you all have day jobs. Same thing here. Like every single one of my guys in my band, including myself, we have a day job.
You need to.
And there's not
Yeah.
there's not enough time in the day to like, or there's not enough time for all of us to get together to then
Like,
cultivate
write this new hot shit for the next show.
Yeah, for the next show that's next week. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
Like to like implement like new things into the show for a new show every week. Like
Right. The fact that it happens at all is actually a blessing.
exactly,
It's amazing.
Exactly. So with that being said, like you can't do like shows and venues every week. Especially like if you just want to go to the next level.
Right.
So that's where like when I was trying to get onto So Far Sounds for a year, and I finally got in, and we like I did a few gigs before we did the full band gig. Well, not the full band gig, but we did the trio gig, and we did the video, which got like really good like a response from people from their YouTube page, which then led to us and like me doing more acoustic gigs with them, and then getting paid to do those gigs.
Nice.
So now, like, if I'm trying to do a gig, like, or an acoustic gig, to either just want to play or just to like make a little bit of money, I'll try to hit up So Far and just be like, hey, do you guys have an opening? Like that's one of the blessings of So Far. It's just like there's constant opportunity to do a show if you're part of like their community already, which is, it's kind of hard to get part of it because it's so big and so
They
vast
do have a really
now.
huge community.
Yeah, so, and they do like three shows per night in the city.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like 3 different locations happening at the
That's
same
nuts.
time. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. They do like 50 to 60 shows per week. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, from my understanding. Yeah,
I did not know it was like
it's
that.
insane. It's insane. So, yeah, that's where that is. But
So yeah, so like now you're striking that balance between
Yeah,
learning how to kind of say no.
Yeah, learn how to say no, and just like analyzing and seeing what's good for me as an artist.
Another thing that I realized with you that I totally respect is that, like you have your mainstays, like your main dudes, what your lineup is, but you're not afraid to book like a sit-in musician. You're not afraid to have a guy sit in.
Well, I am.
You are? Okay.
I am. The
But
reason
I see it happen, so talk to me about that.
Okay, so the reason why, and like as you saw, like because you saw like us me playing in a
At the
trio
Vinyl?
at the Vinyl
Yeah.
with like John Lopez and Danny on bass. So John is a student of the same people or the same person that taught, like basically taught Jordan how
Right.
to play drums.
So that it couldn't be a more perfect situation.
Yeah, they all come from the same like community in the sense of like, or the same like thinking process of like how to play drums.
Right.
Which is why like having John play with the band, like even when Jordan's not there or without anybody else as part of the core group there, makes sense. Cause he like, it took a while for him to actually pick up on like the changes and stuff like that. Cause he's still young. He's a young kid. And he doesn't really have much.
I can tell he works hard though.
Yeah, he works his ass off.
Just from seeing him at what was that place we played in Brooklyn, Sunnyvale?
Oh, Sunnyvale, yeah.
To the last show I checked you guys out on Valentine's Day at the Vinyl, I could tell he was working his ass off.
Yeah, so like, and that's the one thing, like he works his ass off because he wants to be the best that he can be for the show.
Right.
And Danny,
That's key.
Danny plays bass at his church. And he was just like, yo, if you need a bassist, just tell Danny. Danny loves your shit. He loves how Miles plays. So like, if Miles doesn't make it to one, like he could definitely fill in. I was a little weary about that at first, and then I had him in a rehearsal. I was just like, okay, we could do this. So that's the only way that I'll like. If it's by reference or
so
if it's
again, it has to make sense.
It has to make
guys.
sense, and I'm the type of person where it's just like I have to vibe with you to work with you.
Right.
You know, like we have to be cool. We have to like understand each other.
Yeah.
And
one thing that people don't understand is that like, you could be the greatest musician in the world, but if you're not like a chill dude, like people need to be able to spend time with you.
Exactly.
A lot of you play on stage for maybe 45 minutes, an hour if you're lucky, and then it's 8 hours of just being around this cat. So that's the real.
It's another relationship, bro. Like, and it's crazy because like Jordan and I have been talking about this lately too. Like Jordan's been playing with me for the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's huge.
5 years. That's crazy.
And Jordan, I am gonna have him up here. Actually, I talked to him at the Bitter End a couple weeks ago, that guy. I remember seeing him at the Ale House. Like he just came out to a gig. I think you might have been there too.
That's when I first met you.
But I think you cut out early, right?
Yeah, I did.
And then, dude, Jordan stayed till after the Baychester set was done, and we just kind of opened up the floor. We were just jamming that night, and Jordan was just like, "Yo, could I hop on the kit?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, sure, do your thing." Hanging out, man, and I could tell. I was like, "Yo, this dude has a long way to go." But his pocket like hits you in the gut. Yeah. Like he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem. And I've seen Jordan every step of the way just like get so much better to like now I think he's one of the most phenomenal drummers I see anywhere. Just in terms of like playing with authority, playing with his mind, not doing stupid obnoxious shit. Like I've seen him come like a very, very long way, man. I love Jordan for that.
Word, man. It's crazy because like I remember him being such an aggressive player, like really aggressive, in the sense of like almost to the point where it wasn't really tasteful.
Right.
But now he's like really grown into himself as a musician in the sense of like he knows what to do, especially with like when him and I play. We've been playing together for so long now. It's just like the connection him and I have.
Your left brain, yeah.
Like it's just we're on the same page all the time, and that was one thing that made it easy for me and Marcus. Like when me and Marcus first started playing, it was just like we're always on the same page. Just like, yo, this is where I want to go. It's like, all right, cool. What about this for the next? All right, cool. So and it's easy to do that for me because I don't know theory. I don't know theory. I don't know what chords I'm playing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know like what notes go together in the scale. Like I feel what I play.
You're feeling your way through it.
Yeah,
That's why the chemistry is so.
Yeah, I feel my way through it, and like if it feels good, it is good. And like over the years, like I've learned concepts of like okay, this is a minor, this is a major. Minor works in this situation, major works in that situation. Like those are concepts that I understand. But as far as like knowing what exact notes are in like the progression or something like that, that goes over my head like right away.
It's the diminished fifth.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Just play it. Let me hear it. All right, cool. I know where that is.
Sounds good. Feels good.
Or I'll find it. Like that's it. That's all it takes for me. And not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying like that's all it takes for me. Like it's supposed to. It's easy as hell. It's not. It's hard. It's hard. And like I the reason why I learned this was because like I didn't have the money to like find a formal teacher, and two, I spent a lot of time around a lot of musicians, like a lot of people who actually play, like being around Jordan, being around Chris, being around Sean, Marcus, going to the lesson, being at the Poet Will Be Televised a few times that I've been there.
All serious, serious dudes. Yeah,
like
no slouches over there.
Meeting you guys, like watching Baychester play, watching Drew play, watching like. I have some like the homies that I have up in Kingsbridge, like watching the Pressers play, like
you just soak all of it in. Yeah,
I just like I go to shows and like I'm coming from an analytical point in the sense of like, okay, what is it that I like about this? What is it that I don't like? What can I use from this show that'll make me better as a musician?
Right, I see that in your face actually when we're at shows. I definitely can see that in your face. Yeah.
So
because I'm the same way. Like I may not look like I'm having a good time or vibing, but I'm in that same analytical headspace.
Yeah,
exactly like you said. Like, what do I love about this? What do I not like?
Yeah.
How can I now use that for myself?
Exactly.
Make my show better. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's funny, man. I knew it, motherfucker. I knew it.
I'm mad how you said that you saw that. You see that on my face.
Oh hell yeah, dude! You watch me play drums like this.
Oh, there are times when I purposely fuck with you. I was trying to get you at the Tiny Bronx contest when you were playing with with Conversing.
What was that? I don't even know.
I was behind Lou, and I was just doing this. I was just like, and like I feel like you glared at me. You saw that I was there. You're just like, I'm not looking this way.
Yeah, no, exactly. I zone you out. I zone you out for sure. Because I've done stupid shit, like I'll try to choke a cymbal and I'll miss entirely, and I just see you like. Which is good. You need that, man. It makes it was
like last year at the Tiny Bronx contest where like you guys were playing acoustic, and then I'm seeing Spank on the acoustic reach for a pickup switch, and I'm just like, bro, what you reaching for?
What are you reaching for? It's acoustic. It's fine. That's his.
He was like, yo, I needed more treble. I was just like, you're a clown. He was like, yo, it's a habit.
Holy shit. Oh man,
that was so funny.
Yeah, dude. Yo, the Tiny Desk contest was a lot of fun.
Amazing, bro.
I'm so happy that everybody got their videos in there.
Yeah, man.
And yo, shout out to Alex again. Word. Alex and Sweet Lou.
Yeah, man.
And Chris Gollum for making all that stuff happen, because it's a beautiful thing right now. We have a lot of positivity around the scene right now. It's not what it was in terms of the whole like. I feel like a lot of the hardcore stuff has died down a little bit. Like people don't go to shows to.
I wouldn't say that. Like there's still a hardcore scene. It's just not as prominent as it was before.
Right.
Like it was prominent to the point where like bands were literally all over the place. Like they'll have a show this week in the Bronx, next week in Brooklyn, and be in Queens the following week, be in Long Island the next month. Like there used to be a really big scene for that.
There also isn't a venue in the Bronx to like house that type of shit anymore.
Because people are scared, bro. Yeah. Like people are scared. People are scared about like
the crowd hitting and all that shit.
Yeah,
crowd
exactly.
bashing,
Exactly. Not even that. Just like insurance. People actually getting hurt and going to the hospital because they were in a pit and not being able to have liability.
That's not you. Don't worry. I got neighbors upstairs.
Oh,
and
okay.
They, I don't know what they're doing. They're dropping bowling balls or something. That happened when I was doing Sean's podcast, and I watched it back and I didn't hear anything. So
Okay, got you.
it's just us.
Okay.
But yo, so let's move into this later half here, which is your current lineup
Yeah.
with Will and Jordan Square.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you guys are fucking nasty.
Listen, man, I will say one thing, and I will open it with this. I am extremely blessed to have the two of them in my group now. It is amazing. It is amazing. I'm loving every second of it. I'm soaking it in.
Super positive guys, like
yeah,
super
man.
intelligent, you can tell,
Yeah,
and very
yeah.
just
Super
about
chill.
it. Yeah.
How that happened. So, like Jordan and I, like I had gotten called to do a gig at Arlene's, and I hit up Jordan because I know Jordan loves playing Arlene's, and I was just because hands down Arlene's has one of the best drum sounds.
Oh God, it's
like
an amazing
like
room.
their room is. The way drum sound in that room is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make drum sound bad in that room, you're not a good engineer at all. So he loves playing there, and I was just like, you know what, bro? Like for your first show, like back in the fold, like why don't you jump on the show for me or with me? He was just like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to do it, bro. So like we did that, and this was at the time where like I had started messing with the octave pedal because like.
Such a great addition to it. It beefs up your tone
Yeah,
so
man,
much.
like-
It makes you sound like a full band. It's crazy, dude.
I love that pedal so much, man, and I want to give a shout out to Woolly Mammals because Woolly Mammals, like, they're another band that kind of just like rebranded their whole sound, and their guitarist plays the bass lines while the singer, who's the bassist, plays vocoder with his bass.
Oh,
Yeah, so like the guitarist from that band, he introduced me. He came into the store one day because I don't know if you guys know, but I work at Guitar Center. But he came.
I
into
didn't
the
want to
store.
say it.
I know, but I work at Guitar Center. He came into the store, and I was just like, "Yo, bro, what pedal are you using? Like, I know it's not a Pog because Pogs like have a very no, it's not a wah 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 sound. It's not that wah sound. It's more of like it's a polyphonic sound with like both the high like the low octave and the high octave, and I was more interested in just like thickening up my tone, and that sounded really thick on a guitar, and I was just like, yo, what are you using? He's just like, oh, I have the Boss OC3. I was just like, word. How did you set it to where you only have the top two strings as your bass notes? Because the only other way that I thought that you were able to do that was by putting two light gauge bass strings on your guitar, because that's what
and then fucking up your neck along the way.
that's what Bernhoff does. Bernhoff has a guitar that literally the top two strings are low gauge bass strings, and he plays his bass lines on his looper that way. I was just like, all right, I guess I have to like build a whole new guitar then, which sucks, but I guess that's what I have to do. But he told me, he was like, yo, no, I got this pedal, and it has this function called poly. So the poly function is basically you could dial in how far up on the neck you want the octave to go down. So you could set it to where you only want it to have like the top two strings going up to like the ninth or 10th fret. So I was just like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna try it out. So I tried it out, and I'm just like, yo,
It makes a huge difference.
I need this. And this was like when I started diving into like just getting pedals in general. Like I bought a tuning pedal because I just got tired of like waiting for the sound guy to like mute my channel so that way I don't blow out the speakers while taking out my 1/4 inch. So I just turn it off like as a bypass, and just
Still
just
trying to
take
get Spank and Mike to get the tuning pedals.
We're not gonna talk about that, but I still gotta give Spank his. Damn, I should have brought that with me.
Ooh, yeah, he was actually.
I should have brought that with me, bro.
He brought that up yesterday.
Damn,
Actually, yeah.
you should have hit me because I would have brought him his pedal board. Spank, I have a pedal board for you. You will get it, I promise. So like it started with the tuning pedal, then I got my reverb pedal, which I use a Holy Grail. That's always on. I don't ever turn that off. and then like I had bought the OC3 after I had got a delay because I wanted a delay to play more stuff with Zai, like to add a little bit more texture.
Nice.
So my homegirl Brittany Campbell gave me her old Boss DD5, and that's what I have on my pedal chain at the moment. So it's the tuner, the Holy Grail, the tuner OC3 Holy Grail, then the DD5. And when I added the OC3, that just like completely changed my sound, like acoustically, and it just made things more exciting for me because like it's very hard to be excited about an acoustic set because there's not really a lot going on. It's a voice and a guitar.
Right.
And like it got to the point where I was playing acoustic sets so much as this just started becoming cumbersome of just playing by myself.
Yeah.
So I had to make it exciting for myself. So I
Definitely.
bought that pedal and I was just like,
Yeah.
this so
I
much
remember
fun.
seeing you guys at the Shrine. It was just you and Jordan, and it sounded like there was a bassist on stage. And I was like, what is this wizardry? Like, something changed in the last couple months. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what happened. So like I told Jordan to come through for that show, for the show at Orleans, and then like we did that show, we did the Shrine show, and he was just like, bro, I'm tired of playing with you without a bassist. I will not play.
You
with
laid
you.
on.
I will,
Laid it on thick.
I will not play with you if we don't have a bassist. I was just like, if you can find one, you will have one.
Right.
So that was his project. I was just like, if you can find one, you can have one.
Okay.
So he brought in he brought in this first dude. His name was Danny. There's a lot of repeat names here in my life.
This wasn't the same Danny that I saw you guys with.
No. It was another Danny.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it was another Danny that Jordan has known forever. Like he's known him for basically half of his life, almost. And he was cool. Like he was a decent bassist, but he just wasn't for us. And I was like,
You're also spoiled by playing with Marcus.
that was another thing too. Like it was just like
Straight up.
Yeah, I was spoiled, and that was the thing. And I was just like, yo. Like I told Jordan straight up, I was just like, listen, for us to find a bassist that can fit what we're doing is going to be very expensive for us. Very expensive. So
Yeah, especially for your type of music, the bassist is kind of is providing all of that extra stank. You know what I mean? Like you guys can really get by without a lead guitarist if you just have a really nasty bassist.
yeah,
Because you hold down a lot of the beef, and you like your sound. I feel like really fills it out, and then obviously you have your role as a vocalist, but the bassist will really, you know.
because like one of the things that I try to do in my playing, especially like since I play by myself a lot, was that I had to find a way to make things interesting being solo. So like a lot of my chord progressions, you hear the bass line in the chord progression, because that's the first thing I think of when I approach any song. It's just like, okay, what do I want like the root note to be of my chord, and most of the time it's the bass line that comes out. So I'm essentially playing the bass line, which is why there's so much space, because like playing bass, you're creating space for everybody else, in a sense.
Right.
So I like, me and Jordan are the ones creating space for the bassist and the guitarist to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like essentially.
I feel like the bassist in your band really makes it move.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah. So he so then I've known Jordan Cortese for a few years now. Because like Jordan goes to the church that
Clear this up for people who don't know who we're talking about.
so Jordan Cortese
is not Jordan Lee.
Jordan Lee Rivera is on drums.
There you
Jordan
go.
Cortese is on bass. So Jordan Cortese, I've known for a few years now. I met him going to I actually formally met him going to Crossroads, because
Okay.
Jordan Lee wanted me to go to
On Castle Hill?
beyond Castle Hill.
Holy crap.
So
Okay.
the Cortese family is the one that kind of runs the Crossroads there.
Okay.
So Pastor Joe, which is Jordan Cortese's dad, he's the head pastor of that church. So Jordan Lee goes to that church. He was also part of the Bowdoin Center there, which is like a music program that they have there for people who just can't afford like a traditional music school. So he was doing a recording class with them, and he had been going to Crossroads for a few years, and they've known him from going to another church and like being involved with like other church related events and stuff like that. So they had known each other for like 10 plus years or something like that. I don't know the full exact story. Maybe Jordan will explain that to you once he's here, or the next time whenever you have him. So I never thought of Jordan Cortese of being part of the band, and I never thought to ask him, because he's a very busy guy, extremely busy guy. He's at the church a lot. He basically he shadows his dad there. He teaches there. He's a reverend there. He also works for Federa. He runs Federa's social media there, and that takes up a lot of his time. He's like a really nasty photographer, disgusting.
Oh,
and he's a busy guy. So I never thought to ask him. Jordan Lee took it upon himself to ask him. He was like, "Yo, do you wanna jam with us sometime?" And I want to thank Christina, because Jordan Cortese's wife. We call Jordan in the band. We call Jordan Cortese Miles. So that's what I'm referring to.
Yes. Okay. So now I'm on board again.
So Miles, Miles's wife was the one that before they got married, she was the one that was pushing him yo, you should try to join a group or something like that.
Nice.
Get out, just go play out a little bit. So she's encouraging him to play more music and stuff like that. So then Jordan Lee comes in, and he's just like, "Hey, you wanna come play with us?" He was like, "Yeah, I wanna come jam." And then we're trying to figure out where we're gonna have a rehearsal, and we had we ended up going to Mocha's crib.
I heard about this actually.
We ended up going to Mocha's crib, and on my way there, I'm at work, Jordan texts me. He's just like, "Bro, so he has a guitarist too. There's a guitarist that wants to come through." And I'm in my mind, I'm just I'm in a space where it's just you know what, bro? Honestly, I just want to stick to a trio. That's all I really want to do right now. Having too many cooks in the kitchen, and
bringing you back to the project days.
Yeah, and it's just I had the Bryan Durieux project left a little bad taste in my mouth in the sense of getting people together.
Oh, it's so hard.
In the same place at the same time, and
Yeah.
I had been playing by myself for so long. I was just I need somebody who when we have rehearsal, we'll have rehearsal with them and we'll get things done, and then we'll just be out of there. He was just "Yo, bro, Miles is really." He's saying this dude is great. I think you should let him come through. I was just all right, cool. We'll let him come through. And I pop in, and
It's spicy.
Here's Will. He's like, "Yeah, what's up, man? I'm Will. Thank you for having me." I'm just "Yeah, bro, it's a pleasure to meet you." And then there's Miles.
So you guys met in Mocha's basement?
Yeah, that was
funny.
the first time that we met. It was in Mocha's basement,
where I met Mocha for the first time as well. It's the meeting of the minds right there.
So we met there, and we started playing through some of the songs, because we had sent Miles some of the tracks. One of them, the one track that kind of makes it or breaks it is if they could play through Backup Plan. If they could play through Backup Plan, then all right, then this is somebody we could really consider. We went through Backup Plan, and it was butter, bro, butter.
Yeah, that song is electric when you play it now. Yeah,
butter. I remember Jordan being in the coop.
In the chicken coop, the drum chicken coop.
He's in the coop, and I'm just looking at him, and we're playing the progression. I'm just yo, what the fuck? This is crazy. The moment where I'm happy as a pig and shit, bro.
Nice.
And Will's playing is the type of playing that I've been looking for my for what I'm trying to do for a long time. He a really, really, really tasteful jazz guy.
He knows when to sit back, and then he knows when to light it up. too.
Yeah, exactly. When he
Super
when
important.
he solos, like it's very tasteful. It's not like let me squeeze as many notes as I can into these 16 bars or 8 bars that I'm gonna have. Like just squeeze. No, he's very tasteful, and just Miles is just ridiculous, bro. Like he's just amazing on bass. He like his understanding of music in general is just like phenomenal.
You can tell.
And the way that him and Jordan Lee like blend together as a rhythm section is really, really great. And then the substitutions that hit like that Miles and Will do like on certain songs are just ridiculous. Like sometimes they'll do like a substitution from like a Jocko song in a bridge. They've done that like a few times on You're Not Alone. They've done like riffs from like a Theo Katzman song on like what was it? Backup Plan. They've done it a few times. Like when they're spaced, they just go off, and it's really great.
We do that type of shit in Baychester too, and it's so self-serving, and like you know that it's gonna go over most people's heads.
Yeah.
But like you do it anyway because it makes you feel so good.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
It's like an inside joke.
And you know it's all like for that one guy that catches it too. Like that's the type of stuff that'll make my night. You know.
Exactly. The people who catch it is just like.
These guys are ill.
You know your shit, bro. That's
So cool, man. So you guys have been killing it obviously recently, and I know that you've been talking about writing a new record, recording a new one.
So basically, like we've been recording a few tracks. We have a few in the oven right now. So like it's probably gonna be like an EP or maybe a few singles. It's not gonna be like a full record. I did that before, so
right.
I'm just gonna try something different, and that's the good thing about like having like a new project is just like you could just experiment with how you're gonna release stuff. So the majority of the stuff that we're gonna be putting out is stuff that we've been playing so far. I am working on like some new songs, like acoustic tracks, because I'm gonna be putting out. I have a show in about like 2 weeks.
I saw a talk about that.
So
I don't know if this will be out in time, but talk about it anyway because it's cool.
It's all good. So basically, I'm playing a solo, not solo acoustic show. But I'm playing an acoustic show with Miles at the Miles Coffee Bar on East Tremont, and Mario, who's the owner, he's a really cool dude. And he asked me to come play, and like we're doing a show there. It's just us on the bill. It's gonna be like an hour, maybe an hour and a half set of just like acoustic songs. And I'm working on like an acoustic EP to give to the people who specifically come to that show.
That's hot.
So that's
Word.
that and this goes back to like me thinking of like different ways to try out things.
Make it important.
Make it important. It's just like one thing that I learned. Another thing that I've learned, like from playing so much, and I learned this from Eddie Cruz, from Booze.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with you.
He's one thing that he always stresses is like if there's one thing that you always remember to do at a show, is to thank the people who came out for their time.
For sure.
For their time, because that's one thing. Like they could have been anywhere else, but they're there at your show spending time. And I try my best to do that all the time whenever I have a show and make them feel important. Especially like this is going to be the first show that I'm doing where it's just me on the bill. It's just me, like
really,
yeah.
Wow.
I've never done a show where it's just been me by myself.
Right.
You know, so
it's fun. You can have a lot of space, man. It's gonna be good.
So that's like. That's one thing I'm
take
working
deep
really
breaths in between songs.
Yeah, and then talk. Apparently, the last show that we did at Rockwood, I was talking way too much. I was in my bag. I was just like, I'm gonna talk, bro. This is the place to do it. We played here so many times already. I'm just gonna talk, bro.
Word.
You know, so that's what we're trying to do, man. Like we have. I think we haven't. I haven't decided like what's gonna be the first record that we put out. it's most likely going to be Are We. I think that's going to be the first one that comes out, which is the one that Mocha refers to as the fucking song.
The fucking song.
Yeah.
I'm quoting Spanky Roman here, but this is a Spanky Roman quote. Brian D makes baby making music. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't get it. I really
How
don't.
do you not get it?
I don't, because like there's nothing baby making about my, like
I just want to be making love.
okay, that's like
That's one of your lyrics.
all right. Okay. In
Which I love. I sing it every single time that you play it. But
in out of all my songs, that is probably the most like closest thing to baby making music that I've probably written. Maybe
it's the vibe too, man. It's the vibe.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was looking for when I was writing that. I wanted that like that 70s like bounce. 70s funk bounce. That's what I was looking for from that particular track. And the way like Miles plays bass on that, and the way that Will just tastefully sits in the pocket with his guitar, like is
That's what it makes you feel, yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I love playing that song so much. It's a lot of fun. It's probably like the one song that I've written so far that I just enjoy playing out so much. That and Backup Plan. You're Not Alone is another favorite of mine. Like those are songs that I just love playing out because I just love having the crowd involved. Like
right.
it's very rewarding to just know that like people are like they like the song so much that they're willing to sing with it.
Right.
Which is pretty dope.
Yeah, man. Crystal loves it. I'll say that. I'm honestly at the point where I don't know the names of your songs. I know them, but you know.
It's all good.
But dude, Crystal, she fucking loves it. Like she knows the lyrics and like it's a great time, man. Like you definitely get people hyped. So yo, man, we're moving towards the end here. We're wrapping up. I cannot let this podcast go by without bringing up the Whose Mans Is This?
Okay, all right. I've been slacking on that, but
those things make my life, man. They make life worth living. Whose Mans Is This?
I've recently been dog sitting at my mom's place, so I've read up on the Whose Mans Is This material.
Okay.
I will have to go back and grab some more. But the reason why that started was because like I was looking at a lot of like Throwback Thursday stuff, and a lot of people are afraid to like put themselves out there.
Right.
And just
you inspired me to put a real fat boy picture up the other day. It was great.
I'm glad I did that for you because people forget that it's okay to laugh at yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, like putting up a picture of yourself from like I look completely different than what I did last year. Completely different.
Yeah, you start shaving the head now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not shaved today, so I got this hat on. But not saying that I don't grow my whole head of hair, which some people assume. No, I have my whole head of hair. It is a choice for me to be bald. All right. I can grow out these curly locks any day. Don't.
Holy shit.
Don't sleep on me. But
if we ever go on tour, man, we should all do it. Get Mocha and like Drew and they would not be down, but I would just to fuck with them.
Wait, just to shave your head?
Oh yeah.
Fuck it.
Just to see them do it.
Fuck it.
Yo, for this tour, every band on the bill is
bald.
Bald.
Fuck it. That's it.
People would find that shit so funny, man.
They would. They would. Be like, yo, is this the last band? I don't understand. What's going on here, bro?
I'm down.
But basically, Whose Mans Is This? Like, I just got tired of seeing people's Throwback Thursdays like being like the best of like what they used to be.
Right.
Like, bro.
Come on, yeah.
Come on, bro. We all know you were busted. Don't be putting out your prom pictures like when you all suited up. Your graduation picture when you all suited up, like
right.
just nah, bro.
And I gotta say, each one has been funnier than the last, man. Like, damn, they're so good. And now, like, I can't go to one of your shows, and I don't, you know, you did this to yourself, but I think for the rest of my life, like, I will just have to be that guy that yells out, "Whose Mans Is This?"
It's alright, bro.
Like,
it's alright.
I did it at at the Vinyl. I can't help myself now. You know, everybody's like, "Woo, Brian, that was so cool." I'm just like,
Whose Mans Is This?
So yeah, thank you for inspiring. masses. You know, you got to put it out there.
Of course, but I'm trying to change the world every little step at a time.
One
bro.
throwback at a time.
You know what I'm saying?
One song at a time.
That's it.
So, man, anything else you want to put out there? Last words. Where can people find you? What shows are coming up? Like I said, I don't know if this will be out in time, but throw them out there anyway.
Okay, so I'm playing the Miles Coffee the Miles Coffee Bar, April 14th. After that, I will be.
We're playing.
We're playing May 19th. Yeah, at
come
the
out
Shrine.
for that. It's gonna be
it's
sick.
gonna be dope.
Zip.
The full band will be there for that, so that's gonna be a
Zaya,
dope
I'm calling
show.
you out, man.
Word.
I know you're in that neighborhood, bro.
Word.
You gotta
In that
come
neighborhood,
through.
he's literally right down the block, so he needs to be there.
Alright.
We should talk more about him, bro.
Yo,
if you don't
Zaya,
know about
I'm gonna get
Zaya already-
Zaya's ass up here, man.
Yeah, we got to. If you don't know about Zaya yet, yeah, that's very sad for you.
He made a splash in Jimmy Ryan's, man.
Listen-
You know what? That's actually the second time he played there, but I
Yeah.
feel like this time was important because it was filmed.
Yeah,
It's recorded.
yeah. That's. I definitely want to talk about him because like he shelters himself sometimes because like he's very as much as he doesn't make it seem like it, he's very meticulous about like what he puts out. He's very meticulous on how he's perceived and how he's gonna be promoting himself, and like not a lot of people know him up here, and especially since like you, myself, and Mike play with him, they need to know who he is up here.
Right.
And that's why I've been bringing him up here more often because like one, he fits the vibe, like that every show that we have up here, like or the bands that like that we know up here, he vibes with them very well.
Talk about an icebreaker, man. It's like I was saying with you about how he has the effect that you have at those hip hop shows where you're just a breath of fresh air.
Exactly.
Up here, a lot of what people get in our scene in the Bronx right now is a lot of like solo acoustic, a lot of singer-songwriter, pop punk, funk, all that stuff. And then Zai comes out with these bars and this hip hop vibe.
Exactly,
And people
hip hop
just,
vibe that's not trap.
yeah.
It's not trap. It's refreshing. It's like hip hop at its core.
So much energy behind what he does too. Yeah.
Exactly, because at the core of it all, like he is a songwriter. He's not just a rapper, and that's one reason why like I started to work with him is because like listening to his stuff, I'm just like, this dude is different. He's actually talking about something, you know, like. That's where I related to him. Where it's just like I kind of write the same way. It was just like people go through things, and you see people go through things, and you go through things, and you write about them. You give people the space where they feel like they can relate, that they're not alone, that it's not just them going through the hardships. Like everybody else goes through hardships, and it could be the same thing that you're going through. Just knowing that someone's out there going through the same thing that you're going through is comforting.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, he really puts it out there too. When I do get a chance to talk to him, and Zay, I'm calling you out, dude. I definitely want to do like a deep dive of some of his songs because like, you know, you listen to them and I have really strong ideas of, you know, what they're about. But
yeah.
I want to hear from the man, you know.
Word.
So that'll definitely happen. I got to get another mic and you know, eventually I want to start doing this with some more people as well. It'd be cool if I could get you and Zay up here at another time.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So this definitely won't be the last time, man.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Maybe right before you guys drop that record too.
We'll see.
We'll
we'll see when that happens.
you
I don't
back up here.
know. We'll see what happens.
put the fire on this.
This is, you know what I'm saying? I don't know when it's coming out. I'll let you know.
All right.
You'll be on the list.
All right, cool. Hopefully this should be out before April 14th. All right. So guys, Bryan Durieux, the gentleman right here. If you stuck around this long and you watched, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can find this man on Facebook, Bryan Durieux Music, Instagram, same thing. Check his band out. Do yourself a favor. They some soulful cats.
DURIEUX.
Yeah, I still can't spell his name out.
That's all right.
All right, much love, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Word.